Desktop. Okay. And let me hide this. Okay. And admit. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to second Agentic Foundation meetup in Novi Sad, in Started Center. Today is November 14th. And I want to first present myself for those that didn't have the chance to meet me. My name is Dragan Spiridonov, and I'm in IT for more than 29 years, 12 years in quality assurance and quality engineering. For the 8 years leading quality assurance and quality engineering in the Alchemy, and recently, like month and a half, started my own consultancy. And I'm trying to promote Agentic Foundation and start Serbian Agentic Foundation chapter here, starting in Novi Sad, and then continue promoting that all over the Serbia and maybe in Balkans, depending on the interest. So, short intro to Agentics Foundation. It was founded by Ruven Cohen, and it is a non-profit organization dedicated to making AI innovation and education open to everyone by supporting the development and deployment of open source agentic AI systems that can support anybody that want to go into this journey. What is Agentics? This is like a new term coined a couple of years ago, and it's a field of study and practice focused on the design, development, and deployment of intelligent autonomous agents capable of perception, reasoning, and action within complex environments. When we talk about the field of study and engineering practices, it focuses through 4 principles: creating intelligent systems that are proactive, meaning they can anticipate and initiate changes. They operate independently, so they're autonomous in their operations. They collaborate either with humans or between each other, and they're doing that in a targeted way, pursuing defined objectives until they reach the goal that was put in front of them. The Agentics Foundation is dedicated to making AI innovation and education open to everyone, and by supporting development and deployment of open source Agentics AI systems. And one of the biggest producers of these tools is Ruven Cohen, followed by many other members from the community like Ocean Lee and myself. I already dedicated 3 open source projects in the last 3 months and trying to add from the quality assurance and quality engineering perspective. And we all believe that the next generation of builders should not be limited to multinational corporations, but with Agentics, builders can come from all walks of life, and they just need access to the right tools, knowledge, and support, and we are here to provide this. So how do we do that? Through R&D, so research and development work by creating the new tools and open sourcing these toolkits, through creating different educational resources and accreditation that is ongoing. So Agentic Foundation is preparing something that will be accreditation for a future job description that we can call Agentic Engineer. Right now in the industry, there are new names and new descriptions popping up, like front deployed engineers, and agentic engineers are something that are, more and more companies are looking to hire in their, work. We are doing this through live and online workshops. This is live and online workshops at the same time. So in-person event, that's also, we are trying to do all over the world. So some of the biggest events like in Toronto, in London, in I think Helsinki. So there is like a big community in Finland. There is Abu Dhabi event is prepared in Tokyo on 3rd of December. We had an event, I think last week in Paris. So the community is expanding as we are talking about it immediately. So all over the world, and new places where we are sharing knowledge are becoming available. The community is constantly growing, but became as a couple of dozen of people in April of 2024 is now, blossoming into, ecosystem of its own. You can check, different groups on LinkedIn, on Reddit, on WhatsApp, and for those interested, I can share the links later. And there, a group of global ambassadors is now, I think even more than 20 people across Asia, North America, and Europe. So, and it's constantly, expanding. For those of you who are interested into contributing and showcasing some of the work that you start maybe doing, inspired by the things that I will share and inspired by others from the Agentics Foundation community, you are all welcome to join and help me, because I would like to have somebody else also present sitting here or in some other places from Serbia, because, I, sincerely hope that there are other people that are using these tools to amplify their skills and to speed up the work that they are doing. Usually, when we are talking about different approaches to developing using AI-assisted tools, we can talk about two specters of or two different perspectives in approach to development. One is vibe coding, that is good for research and development and ideation and discovery and rapid prototyping. And the other one is a structure approach that is highly process-driven, requires deep planning and using test-driven development to achieve certain level of quality of the results that agents produce at the end. And through multiple iteration and refinement, you're getting to the end goal. So this would be like an intro, and there are a couple of more slides. I will later share this, so all the links to all the repos and to different community sites will be shared with everybody who applied to the event through Luma. But I would now like to, yes? Sorry, there are two people waiting. Oh, where they are? Oh, let me see. Now disappear. Participant, admit. So, yeah, sorry. Sorry for people waiting in the... yeah, next time I will need, assistance from somebody. Maybe I will point out somebody else to be also admin of the Zoom meeting so they can admit people without waiting. So again, I'm sorry for people waiting in the wait room. Okay, I can try to hide this. So before proceeding into new project, I asked community before this meeting to think about the project they would like us to work on. So before I start showing how to set up your environment using dev pod Docker and install the tools needed to start. I would like to hear if the community has some ideas, what could be the greenfield project we can start developing in this meetup and continue in the following meetups. Ideas? I will give you 1 more minute. I always have a backup idea if we need it. So, I can, start with my backup idea, but I wanted to hear no ideas. Okay. So for social network for the community members, for the Serbian community members. Okay. Okay, so for an organization community members, maybe to put it in that way. Okay. Okay, no, not from here. I will do that from the environment. So, okay, let's see then how to set up the environment, or maybe let's see how to start now. From which side to start? Because we need a new repo. Let's start with creating a new repo. Okay, go to top. Let's create a new repo. So this will be Unity, social, network project, okay? That sounds okay. It will be public. We want to share it. This is, the goal. Okay. Git ignore, not for now. We will create it, no license. Oh, okay. Let's create MIT license. This will be open source. So we can create repository like this. No README for now, but let's see what can be a description. So give me a couple of, ideas that how we can describe these projects. So we are creating, even better, give me a second. Look, these controls from Zoom are admit. Oh, that's why it's popping up. Somebody wants to join. So now I realize why it's popping up. So give me a second. I'm going to cheat a little bit now. I don't want to type all of this. So give me a second. We want to create a community social network application that can be used by local Serbian Agentic Foundation and started community to begin with. Okay, ideas? We want to have groups of interest that people can enter, and so it means like in general social networks, you need to have a profile, you need to have like a profile picture. Should we add some, reactions to it or something like that? Okay, so we will need group chats. We will need, okay, standard things for social network. Come on, now.
Adding user and making user.
Okay. So user administration. Yes? Yeah, I'm going there. So I'm going there, but we need to first put our idea, and then we will ask a researcher to do a research and prepare us a PRD for this. So any other things to put like a raw, ideas that you have about this application, I think this should be enough to begin with, okay? Let's, commit these changes. Readme.md created. Okay. So now I will download this on my local laptop. So git clone and repo, done. That was fast because it's a small repo, right? So let me see, here it is. Nothing, license and readme, that's okay. But now, in order to make this project safe, I want to start working with agents, but in a safe environment. And in order to do that, I'm using pre-prepared development environment configuration, like dev container. I have my repo for this. So I will, I can share that also later, but there is like a repo, let me find it, CF, yeah, CF devpod. So you can just clone this repo, or you don't need to clone, you just need this container, or this folder, dev container, and this file, start.sh. You can use start and enhanced. That's something that I started working on because it can then start automatically 3 parallel TMMux sessions in which you can, in one, watch your agents work, in other, watch the logs, in third, also watch the metrics of your, devpod environment working in parallel. But, we will not go that in detail. We will just, do the basic stuff. So let's copy, and I need to show the folder. So I need this folder, and I need this file, or maybe I don't need it for this exercise, but this is how I usually do it. So now in this folder, community social network, I have all the configuration I need for my devpod to create the Docker instance. So, oh, not there, but here. I go to devpod, say create. Oh, you can even go directly to my repo and create from there. But I will go to folder, browse, find, this is here, say open. You can name your workspace if you like. If you don't, it will just pick up the name from the folder or the project. So, no naming now. My default development environment is VS Code, so I will leave it, and I will, give the command to create the workspace. It takes some time. So while this one is working and creates this, let's go and use Cloud Code in this case with some hacks. So I'm now using some hacks that I already have pre-prepared because my Cloud Code in browser environment already has some environment variables preset. So I can invoke some of the Agentics tools directly from the sandbox environment that Cloud Code in browser provides. And for this, it will spend, in this case, free credits that I have because I'm a max account user of the Cloud. I got like on a weekly level, I think $1,000 of credits for the using Cloud Code, but in the browser. And I'm usually using it to do research. So I want now to start or to use the agentic flow because that's one of the building blocks created by Ruben Cohen, and start a swarm of research and goal planner, goal planner agents to use, multimodal router and my keys, and In this case, let's go back to our repo. So where was our repo that we created? Where is my README? For this. So do me a research and do a research on a community social application with some row specification like this. I just paste it. That was our row specification. And create me a PRD I can use as a starting point. Oh, oh my God, I forget that I have a whisper and then I continue, typing, and I could just dictate all of this. But okay, when I'm there typing and create me a PRD I can use as starting point for a new project that will be developed using Cloudflow agents there. Okay. So let's see. It will start again in my research repo. So I have one repo that I use for research stuff. It will create a separate branch there, start initializing the sandbox environment, install all the tools it needs in that sandbox environment, and start the research and creation of this PRD. Okay, while this one is working, let's see if our dev pod environment was created. No, it's still installing the Cloudflow. So, okay, let's give it a minute more. Any questions, while these agents are doing their or our work in this case?
Actually, but I saw that we wrote used by local Serbian Argentic for foundation, not Agentic.
Yeah.
That would be the problem.
Argentine Foundation. Okay, but let's see. That's why we have like a review cycle later. So it will try now to understand our role requirements and create a plan. But let's see when it starts doing the prompting, because right now it's still, exploring the structure and start to set up the environment based on the instructions provided. So it's still, it has a task list. It will go through the task list, but it still didn't get there. And interesting, these new words that Claude is doing. So here, this is now a swarm config that it created. Let me show you what it did. So after installing, no, it's still setting up things. So it's preparing a swarm config that will execute based on my request. It will start researcher and goal planner agents, one more researcher, so 2 researchers. And the task is, it says Serbian Argentine Foundation. Yeah, nice. Yeah, let's see, how confusing this will be in the end. This is also a good test to see if it will, find, my context behind and, match it in the end, because I'm, using this for a couple of months with this context, from this context. So I expect maybe it will fix the error by itself, but let's see. While that was working, our environment, dev pod environment, with Docker in Docker and a set of tools is ready. So first time when the environment is started, you will get this confirmation window to confirm if you are trusting the authors. I usually remove this. So we have basic things here. we are on the branch main, and it's not good working on the branch main. So let's create a new branch. Working with agents. Okay. No, DS Store. Oh my God, Mac and DS Store. Okay, this is initial setup. So let's say initial dev pod setup. So yeah, also when it's done, it will create a report about if it succeeded. You can read it. For now, I will just leave. No, I didn't want to commit. No, okay. I will go back and delete those later. Yeah, they are annoying. Now, new terminal. And I wanted to publish the branch. That was the thing that I wanted to do. Okay, now the branch is published. And now I'm starting setting up, further environment. Because the installation script is using installation of Cloud4 latest. Sometimes Rove creates a new version that goes into alpha, and I'm testing his also creations. So I'm usually installing alpha version. So we will start. Let me see if I can make this. Oh, I can make it. So npm install cloud low at alpha. And I don't want to install it only in this project. I want to install it globally in this virtual machine. So I will add -G, like, this is installing globally, but in this dev pod environment. Okay, this will pull the latest. So check our, okay, let's move this to another. And let's see how this one is going on. Okay, it configured new agent swarm. It started running the swarm. Okay, there. Okay, that was okay. I think I was fast. It's never good when you are live streaming and your environment variables pops up. So I will need to cut out this part, before publishing it to YouTube, because I just saw that it read and put the environment variables in the chat. So that's something, you need to be careful, when working with this. So these two will be changed probably after this session. And that's something that happens, to everybody that live webcasting and, setting up some keys. Oh, Culture Ethic Foundation, no, it's going the wrong direction, definitely. So, okay, let's try to interrupt it. So it went, yeah, definitely, Joe, good catch. And it went in totally, sideways. We are creating social app for Agentic Foundation, Serbian Agentic Foundation community, not whatever, Argentinian. Please, no, please run a new swarm with proper instructions. Okay, let's see. Actioning. Oh, I have a nice collection of these. I'm collecting them, It's a completely new, dictionary being invented, and this, I think, you will notice this kind of people after a couple of years, heavy cloud code users, that are exchanging these kind of words. Okay. Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I like when I'm right, and even when I'm not. Okay, still installing. Yeah, sometimes it can take some time. So any questions while we are, waiting? As you see, this is not a straight line. So there are a lot of detours that can happen during the, your journey in developing using these kind of tools. Any, experiences anybody else would like to share? Something, similar, especially you're absolutely right. 100% done, production ready or similar, Okay. Now remove. It's doing starting from the beginning, huh? Okay, let's see. This one finished. Nice. We can go to the next one. Next one is learning for agents and reasoning bank and fast communication using quick and some other features are available in other package created by Rove. I'm installing that one as a second. So first one is Cloudflow. That's, and I didn't show you what that created because I didn't started the init. But while this one is doing its installation, I will init in this directory, Cloudflow, to show you what that initialization creates. So by installing and Cloudflow orchestration framework, you're getting a fleet of agents, a number of skills, and a number of MCP servers automatically installed and configured to work in your project. So it's like a complete development set of tools that you can start using working on your project. While it's still, working, connecting and checking other things. But where are agents? So it didn't finish everything. It needs to, it needs to create agents because, there it is. But those are commands for the agents. No, not that one. It needs to create a folder. So give me a second and let's see why now the server failed. And this one failed. Maybe we have internet problem. Or maybe Ruven is pushing some live changes. And that's something that also is happening because, right now, there is AI hackerspace live coding happening also in parallel. So they started at 6 p.m. And usually during these sessions, Ruv will do some bug fixes and do, live push to production. And sometimes it can happen that some of his MCP servers stop working. But okay, I'm used to that. So we will test the MCP servers later. Now we can see the full list, what it created. So agents that come with Cloudflow. So you have, analysis like a code analyzer, code reviewer, that can then the Spark. So this is the fleet that I'm using with doing the development. Starting first by developing the specification, then writing pseudocode based on the specification, then creating an architecture based on the pseudocode created from the specification and original requirements. And fourth step is really coding and refinement, so implementation. Fifth step is completion, where we pack everything and test and validate before going to production. So that would be like a Spark framework in short. And the agents here, are part of the Cloudflow fleet. And there is, a nice set of skills. And this one is specifically useful, skill builder skill, that you can use to build other skills that to use in your project. And I can show you later, because maybe we can create one that is specifically related to the social community chat application that we are creating. Okay, let me now check what's happening here. So this one finished also, and then I will install now my fleet, because using these tools, Claude Flow and Agentic Flow, I created my open source project, Agentic UE Fleet, that consists of 18 quality engineering agents and 37 skills, that you can use in all the phases of software development lifecycle, from the beginning, from the requirements analysis to production monitoring and log analysis when you're live. Okay, while this one finishes, then we need to initialize this one, and let's see. Okay, this now slow down. Sometimes Claude Code can just end up stuck, and then I need to wake it up. So let's see if it will continue working. Let's give it a minute or two more, because setting up environment depending on the internet speed also can take time. It downloads the npm package. This is not a big package. I think my package is a couple of megabytes, but yeah. Okay, unpacking the tools and all the dependencies that it needs to update definitely takes some time, but yeah, let's see. I think this one stopped. So let's try. You are stuck. Continue where we were. Direct direction. Let's see if it will pick up this, because until now it did pick up now. So let's see now if this will wake him up. You're right. Again, I'm right. Yeah, looking good. Okay. Any questions, comments, something to add? Come on, demo gods. Sorry? Why use Claude? Why use Claude Code, or why would use Anthropic model? What's the question here? So Claude Code is an agent plugin for your development environment, can use multiple models. So I'm using Anthropic model, Sonnet 4.5, because it gives me best results. I use it also with the Open Router. So I tested with the Open Router targeting different models, because you can set up Claude Code not to use Anthropic model. You can set it up to use other models. Even in the document that I shared here, let me show you, I have instructions how you can add like ZAI, GLM models that are like much cheaper to use than the Anthropic models. So for a price, for instance, of $30 a month, you get the same number of tokens as you get for Anthropic models for $200 plan, if you are on Claude Max. But you can use and route Claude Code as an agent to use different model below. So Claude Code in this case is only like a agent plugin inside development environment that I then direct to different models depending on the tasks that I'm working on. And I started working on more with the GLM models for the research, because I was hitting the limits in my Claude Max 200 account on a monthly basis. When I work on more than 2 projects in parallel with the swarms of agents, I'm hitting the limit. So I need on a weekly basis. So I need to use other models when I'm doing research or preparing documentation or writing specification or some other tasks that are not code specific or test specific, because in my experience, in at least these 3 or 4 months of me heavily using these tools, Anthropic models gave best results with the agents. While using Claude, because it's also a good, how to describe that, container, right? So it provides, again, its own set of tools that in this case are useful. You can even set it up to use Codex as an MCP server. I had it in one project set up that Claude Code uses Codex and OpenAI models through MCP, and you can ask it to do the review of the code created by Anthropic. And that's another layer of, let's say, verifications and validations that you can apply when working with agents, because they're creating a huge amount both of code and documentation while working with them. And I can show that in my other projects, because I would say right now in my Agentic QA fleet, there is more documentation than the code. Because I'm on purpose keeping all the documentation that agents have created so I can share the story. So I'm using then that documentation to showcase, what are their decisions and how they are, what is the level of explainability of the decisions that they are making and, work they are doing and how they are reporting on that. Okay? Did that answer question? Yeah. Nice. Okay, this one also installed. So now I will do AKE in it. So AQE, Agentic Quality Engineering in it. And you can give it like minus yes if you don't want to go into interactive mode, but let me show you even the interactive mode. So, okay, project, this is what will be our stack for social media, TypeScript, some JavaScript. Okay, let's go with JavaScript. Yes, yes. No need for model router now. Streaming, yes. And yeah, before I click enter here. So originally, Claude Flow init created Claude MD with instructions how Claude Flow agents should be used. And you can, read it, when you do the init. And now I'm appending instructions for my fleet to the end of the Claude MD and creating a backup. So now it will add the instructions also at the end for the, where they are, somewhere here. Yeah, there should be here. Backup. Command F. Okay. There. I know they are somewhere. Instructions are here. Okay. So, and what this init did, it added my QE agents. So you have here like 19 agents. And if you want to generate a new agent that fits your specific purpose, I suggest using this base template generator. So you can add it later, you will see in the Claude, and call exactly that agent and ask that one to create a new agent for you that you need. And it will use the best practices already put in other agents. And yeah, a number of other skills. And this is the new one that I created yesterday, because I notice a lot of times agents will give false positive information about, the results. And I asked Claude, okay, my context, give me 3 critics from my context that will be best to be like a trust of brains in my brutal, honest review skill. And it suggested these 3 guys, Linus Torvalds, Gordon Ramsay, Stardust, and James Bach, bullshit detection. So from those in QA, James Bach is, really, and all of them are really brittle on language. As it says, don't use this, with junior developers because it can be, really brutally honest. Yeah. That was like a joke. He tried to make a joke, but yeah, using this skill revealed some of the problems in my agentic QA fleet, and I had like a release with the new fixes, that these skills, managed to find. Okay, now our project is ready. Let's see if our PRD is ready. So, development environment is there. I will add to git ignore these folders, or should I share them? So this is more a question for you, because each of you, when initializes project, will get these. So usually they go into the git ignore. So agentic QE. Okay, and dot load. Okay. Tests. No tests yet. By logs. We will not track logs. So let's add also that to the git ignore. Okay. No need to keep the backup. We will ditch the backup because this is the original CloudMD created. So no need to keep. Ditch the DS store and okay, and cf init commit. And again, oh my God. Bye. Okay, project is ready. Let's see if our PRD is ready. No. Generating PRD, and it choked again. I don't need to wait. Let's use another way. So I thought this one will be done, but looks like we will now. Now I need to authenticate both Cloud code and GitHub in order to make the environment fully functional. So for now, I will just call the Cloud, dark mode, account with subscription. And this is a trick. Don't copy this. Just give it a second. The link will pop up below, because following the link from the dev pod directly, that link that pops up will not work. You can copy this link now, go to your browser, pop it up there, authorize, copy code, go back here and paste the code. Enter, continue, yes, recommended settings, blah, 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 yes, proceed, that's it. I will turn off this and I will now exit because I need to set up GitHub auth login. I need to log in also with the GitHub account. Yes, login in browser. Copy this first, then enter, continue, paste, continue, authorize, secure key, and done. Buff. Poof, there it is. Now, if you want, you can add, because I'm usually using Cloud Dangerous script permissions, and it's a long, to type. So what I do, I create an alias I can use that is much shorter. Oh my God, can I copy this properly? Okay, so go here. Oh, let's use this one. Go here. So in order to do that, you need to edit, as this is Linux environment, so it's bash rc is the environment where you are setting up. So if you want to put the environment variables also, like for that configuration that I also put in the file that I will share also at the end of the meetup, you can put all those keys, export keys here, and then the whole environment will have access to the keys and can use the OpenRouter, Gemini, OpenAI models, and other models depending on the setups that you are using. So I will call this alias DSP, Dangerous Escape Permissions, and not like this. It needs to go under double quotes. Double quotes, there it is. Control X, save, yes. And now source. To load this change, we need to load the bash back. Now it should load the change and I should be able to say DSP and it will start now in the dangerous escape mode. Dangerous escape permissions mode. Why? Because I don't want to click yes a million times when I start my agent swarms. So as we have here that original README that probably has that Argentina thing in it. So yeah, there it is. So we want Serbian Agentics. So we want to create a community social network application that can be used by local Serbian Agentics Foundation and start it community to begin with. We want to blah, blah, blah. Okay. User. Not you, but user. User needs to have, okay, user administration and the rest of standard features for social network. Okay, save now. Based on the raw description, I remembered. Based on the raw description in readme.md, start a goal planner agent and perform a research on the topic of creating a minimal viable product of a social network we can use. And I need to tag this agent properly. So use goal. This one is one of the most powerful agents in the Cloudflow fleet. And I use it when I need to do any planning in combination and research agent. So let's use also research agents swarm. So let it be a swarm and perform research on creating minimal viable product of social network we can use. Create me a PRD documents we can later use as a starting point for Cloudflow agents to implement this application. Okay. Now, I'm intentionally didn't start it by using the skills because I could ask it to use a skill. I wanted to show you how you can directly call an agent by in the Cloud code. You can do multiple things. You can add folders, you can add files in your project context. You can at agents, there is also a number of other commands. And now, what's happening? It's starting to spin agents, and let me show you some of the prompts that it gave to the agents. Let me see if I can even make this even more bigger so you can read. And here are some of the instructions that the Claude Code prepared and spin, gave to the agent, in this case, Code Gold Planner, and second agent, researcher, with second prompt. They need to work. So I'm trying to scope this like to be a MVP, not to, so we can finish this in at least 2 sessions. But I think this is something that it can, generate quite fast. I would say if I would sit on this 5 to 10 hours, and this would be, finished. So, let's see. Maybe in a, 2 or 3 sessions, we can finish this. So these are initial prompts. And how did I access this? By using Control O. So, and you see here, if you want to see what are the instructions and how the agents are, what they are working on, click Control O, expand, and you can look. And it will list, tools that it uses and other things that, agents are using while working on the task that we provided them with the initial prompt. Questions? Well, this one is working. Oh, I didn't source it here. Okay, source. RC, okay, DSP, now it works. What else? So list all the skills you have. Yeah, let's good thing, typos are okay with LLMs. They're used to people, typing fast. So let's see what it will ferment out of this. Probably not rakia. For those who know me, know why. Okay. Oh, display limits. Why display limits? So there is a nice list of skills that you get if you install this combo of Cloudflow plus Agentic QE Fleet. And I'm waiting for this PRD to be generated to show you the first skill or first agent to use to check the requirements that they were created and to verify and, identify the gaps that exist and suggest an improvement. So let's see how this is. This can take some time. Let's see, maybe this one finished meanwhile. So let's see if this one, no, this one also got stuck. So let's try again. So you are stuck again. Try again. Yeah, Claude Code. When I don't know why, but today also. But look, it did like a nice research, But I needed to nudge it. I think a lot of people currently are using, and this is, stress problem, load problem, performance problem, how you wanna. So, the system is not managing to answer and serve all the requests that are coming at this moment. And I'm right again. Okay. Because I'm right, what you will do? Let's see. What can I show you? While this one is doing, and let's see, this one is working. Let's see if the demo gods will, be on my side, and maybe I will be able to show you the Sentinel this time. Let's see. I'm not sure. So this was my first open source project that I created, that was created after like a teaser by my colleague Peđa Skoković. He asked me, can we use these agents to create API testing agent fleet? And I said, let's try. So, and a month later, yeah, it was done. So let's see. Oh, and today or this morning, while I was looking at, what to show, I installed a new version of my Agentic QA fleet with the new skill and used it on this project and got some really interesting results that my other agents didn't manage to catch yet, but it's not looking good. It's definitely not production ready. Let me see if I can make this also a little bit, bigger to show, what's, there is a good foundation, but, test pass rate, yay. It's always good when you have a lot of test passing, but, there are a number of, high severity gaps identified by brutally honest review skill. So when you want to continue working, so you worked and you turned off your laptop and you want to go back to what you were working before, you can always say Claude dangerous escape permissions -c. This is continue previous session. So with this slash you will invoke continue of the previous session in the Claude code. So let's see what I was working on. And this is definitely Claude problem. Overload. Okay, so this is, let me see if I can find even the original. No, I cannot. It compacted the conversation. I cannot find the original prompt that I did. Oh, I can. Good thing you can always do this. History, right? So use brutal honest review skill and analyze the current status of the Sentinel project in details, provide a report on findings. This is like a project that is somewhere, 60, 70% done. So you can, use some of these skills to assess the status of your project at some point in time. But I don't need this. I need start both front-end and back-end application using Docker. Start pet store demo application using Docker. From pet store API folder. Okay, let's see. So even though there are some problems with the authentication, and that's okay. This is open source project. I didn't, release this. And why is like a problem? You will see. I have a security problem because it's default user to log in is admin and the password is admin123. So, definitely, I was warned multiple times by Claude Chrome, this is not a safe password. Do you want to save this? Yes, this is demo test application, not real production thing. So knowing the context, and giving it properly to agents is also a thing. So while it's starting this, let's see what are other agents doing. So move this to, here. Okay, this one is still working on, okay. Stuck again, yes, okay, yes, let's leave it. And watch this one building. So all these commands you can run manually. You can see here the commands, that it's using while, trying to run. You can run them manually. When you're in any new project, you can ask Claude, okay, read me the documentation and explain me how can I start this project or how to use this project. So this is something also that I can maybe demo in some of the next sessions that we hold. while this is starting the Dockers. Oh, 1, 2, 3, almost there. Let's see, it's still not opening ports. So let me see now. Maybe there will be some problems, maybe not. Okay, good thing it will start automatically debugging and fixing problems. Bad thing, when you do this multiple times, then, there will be conflicts with ports and things. So, better than to kill the, Docker process, container process, and start it again. Okay, it opened some ports. I see 3 ports are now open. There it is, localhost 3000. That one is for the front end. That one was expected. 8000 is for the backend, and 8080 is the pet store application. So let's see, it's doing the test now instead of me, instead of me opening the app, because in a number of occasions, it will start the images, it say, I'm ready, and then I try to access it, and I cannot access it. So I think it learned its lesson that it needs to test before it says it's done. Excellent. Accessible, verification, and provide a comparison. Now, of course, now it will probably create a document. Summer, no. Okay, nice. So let's start with opening this. Because I need this specification. Well, let me see how I can copy this. I will need this specification, probably. If it started completely new Docker, then I will not have the old app, but I should have the new app. Okay, and this is the user portal. Pop. Oh, it kept the data. It logged me in. Nice. No need to, upload the specification. So demo gods are on my side today. Yeah. So application, we can upload your specification, from a file, or you can paste it, like I just wanted to paste a specification here. Give it some name, you can specify URL not, say upload, and specification is there and ready for you to generate tests for it. So you can say quick test that will generate only functional positive and functional negative test cases, or you can say generate test and select which agent type you want to use to generate you certain types of tests. So let's say positive, negative, stateful. Okay, this security, the pet store doesn't have authentication, so no need for security, but maybe some performance tests, okay? And you can use agents without LLM, without them consulting LLM, what they should do. So, and they will provide certain types of tests, or you can use tests with the LLM, where the agent will invoke LLM multiple times, looking for feedback, about the test case it provided, try to make it better. And I started implementing also some, learning patterns and things. So in time, it should improve how it generates tests. But what do you think, how long it will take to generate, let's say 300 or 500 tests? I don't know how much it will generate. Any suggestions? Yeah. Done. That was under 2 seconds, maybe even below second. So yeah. And it generated a lot of test cases. I didn't check my initial number, but well, let's see really. Let me delete all of this first. So let me delete all the tests. And some of the tests belong to a test suite. We will create the test suite again. Okay, everything deleted. So let's try again the same. So it's the same, specification, but 1, 2, 3, And we said performance one, this one, right? Generate. Puff. So 84, 480. Ah, okay. Only 84. No, it should, I expected more. Ah, that's, did I select but I didn't select negative. That's why. Let me now just generate the negative ones. Just the negative ones. There is a lot of negative ones. Oh, this one agent is failing. So, okay. Do we want to fix this agent failing? Let's see. Pub. Our functional negative agent is not returning any results. And I am in a demo now. Fix the problem. Let's see. So it's interesting. That's why I didn't so, the negative agents creates usually around 200, 300 test cases, I think. But okay, while it's fixing this, we can look at the test cases that it did create it, right? So, you saw how fast they were created. You can check the details for each. And this is something that I also added because we as a users, yes? So this is the control. This is the feedback that we can provide to the test, to the agents. So in the future runs, they know if the test that they created is good or not. And, based on that, I created, this feedback form because I noticed that agents were creating tests that didn't make sense. How is running? Okay, let's go back. In order to run the test case, you create a test suite. I have one, but I just deleted all the tests. So let me add tests here. So let's start with some of these. Oh, these are, but where am I positive? But I see now the positive agent is also not working, not only this one. So, okay, let's select, some of the. Okay, and then you say run suite. Right now, because I'm targeting the API, local pet store API on my Docker machine, this is the URL that is targeting. If you have your API, you target that one in your tests, but I say start test run. It did a test run, and I can check now, what are the results of the test runs, which one passed, what's the request that was sent, what was the response that it got back. And this is like my initial project, something, that also was created only with agents. So zero code written by hand. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, okay. How to approach with this one, especially. Yeah, so it's a work in progress. So this is like open source project. I stopped working on this, like say a month ago. I touched it, slightly because there was not that much interest in this project. I think I got like 20 stars or something like that on this one. But my Agentic QA fleet is gaining traction and I have users using it and providing me feedback. And that's why I'm, starting to improve it already. And it got now more than 700 downloads of NPM package weekly. So I have like more than 70 stars right now. So let me check really. Because, the numbers are changing daily. Let me check the repo to see right now what are the numbers. So 73 stars right now, and already 15 forks of that project. And this one with 37 skills and 18 quality engineering agents. And I'm waiting still to show you how to use them, in the project, because this Sentinel API testing platform is a standalone project for itself. So it's like an app created that you can, invoke, and run on your machine or in a cloud or whatever you decide where to run it. And the Agentic UI fleet is a fleet of agents that are using Claude subtasks as runners and skills that are using Claude code tasks to run and execute the tools provided to analyze and work on the tasks. So it's a different type of fleet and can be used directly from the IDE. In this case, I on purpose created that like an extension pack for Cloudflow. So Cloudflow has its own fleet of, validation agents and developer agents, but I added like another layer from my perspective, as I'm coming from the quality assurance and quality engineering world. That was a part that I was missing. So that's why I used again these tools, only agents, to create this fleet. And that's my second open source project. And the third one is this Lion AGI QE fleet. That's the latest one because one of the founders of the Agentic Foundation, Ocean Lee, developer, created his own framework called Lion AGI. That's framework for really provide secure environments for developing and orchestrating agents. And I used also his environment, that's Python-based application, directed, my agents, and created now a new fleet that again can be invoked as a separate project in any other project. This is Python-based project completely. So Sentinel is a combination of Python and Rust agents and JavaScript frontend. Agentic QE fleet is a TypeScript project. So all the agents are TypeScript agents. They are spawned as WebAssembly. So using WASM, WASM creates WASM when they are executed if you invoke them directly using the MCP tools available. So you don't even need Claude code for some of the, running them. You can invoke them directly using the MCP. Is that answering some of the questions? Let's see what's happening. And yeah, I know that I'm over 1 hour, but I said if this is interesting, let's see what this one is. Aha, this one is looking now. Oh, it didn't use the end, fixing blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's doing some fixes. Let me see what's the other one doing. No, this is the empty one. I don't need that one. Let's see, where was not here. Sorry, guys, too many open windows. This one is still working. So sometimes that's why, working in parallel is good. So you give it, and some of these agents can work for hours without a problem, depending on the complexity of the task that you give them. And not only on that, but also on the availability of the LLM APIs that you are targeting. I will now assume this slowdown is because of the slowdown of Anthropic APIs, because I didn't now use the OpenRouter or other models. So they are still, working, but yeah. Oh, this one is, let's see, what's this? Looks like we have something. Aha. Aha, looks like we have a plan. So at least we managed to create a plan in this session. We can continue, with generating the code in the next session. But yeah, I will definitely commit this when the other agent is done. And you can take a look. I will share also the link to this repo because it's a public repo. You can access it and take a look at the summary. Oh, it's not only summary. Let's see what it's providing. And there is implementation plan. And there is like an MVP summary. So these agents were really busy producing, even the roadmap on how to develop and approach this in our next phases. So a lot of research. So we can read, each of the, and what is, so here is the tech stack decision. It already suggested based on the requirements and based on the GOP analysis that it did, it provided the stack, to start developing with. So it's not, JavaScript, it's TypeScript. Yeah. So, okay. I will wrap up the session by going back to this. And yeah, join the community and let's work on the new projects using these wonderful tools that are now available. And let's stop the recording now.